You think panic attacks are about fear. They're not. They're about what happens when your body stops believing the story you're telling it. Most people who have panic attacks spend years trying to understand them. They read articles, they track triggers, they learn breathing techniques, and still, the panic comes. Because here's what almost no one realizes. A panic attack isn't a breakdown. It's a breakthrough trying to happen in the worst possible way. Your body isn't malfunctioning, it's speaking. And if you ignore a voice long enough, eventually it stops asking and starts screaming. This isn't another list of coping strategies. This is about understanding what panic actually is, why it shows up, and what it's trying to tell you about the life you're living. We're moving through 3 layers: the surface, the hidden mechanics, and then the root system, where the real truth lives. If you've ever felt a panic attack building, you already know something most people don't. There's a part of you you can't control, and that terrifies you more than anything else. Let's start with what you think you know. Truth 1. Panic doesn't arrive when you're in danger. It arrives when you're pretending you're not. Panic attacks rarely happen during real emergencies. They happen in grocery stores, in meetings, on your couch at night. Why? Because during real danger, your body has a job. But when you're performing safety while your nervous system is screaming threat, that's when the system overrides you. You tell yourself you're fine. Your body has been collecting evidence that you're not. And at some point, it stops waiting for your permission. Truth 2. Panic is the bill for emotional debt you've been avoiding. Every time you swallowed anger, every boundary you didn't set, every truth you edited to keep the peace. Your nervous system doesn't forget. It keeps a ledger, and panic is what happens when that debt comes due. You think you're managing, but managing isn't processing, and your body knows the difference. Truth 3. The fear of the panic attack is worse than the panic attack itself. Once you've had one, you develop a second fear, the fear of it happening again. You start scanning your body, monitoring your breath, interpreting every sensation as a warning. That hypervigilance creates the exact conditions that trigger it. You're not afraid of dying. You're afraid of losing control. And the more you try to control it, the more you prove that losing control is dangerous. Truth 4. Panic often happens after the crisis, not during. After. When you finally get home. When the pressure drops. When you exhale. Your nervous system holds it together when it has to, but the moment you're safe, everything you suppressed floods through. Safety doesn't prevent panic. Sometimes it allows it, because your body waited until you could afford to fall apart. Now we go deeper. Truth 5. You're not having a panic attack. You're having a rebellion. Your body is staging a quiet coup against the life you've been forcing it to live. The performance, the pushing through, the pretending. Your mind can lie. Your autonomic nervous system can't. And when the gap between who you are and who you're performing gets too wide, panic closes it. Violently. This isn't malfunction. It's refusal. Your body is refusing to keep going the way you've been going. Truth 6. Panic is your nervous system saying, "We need to renegotiate." You've made decisions your body never agreed to, about work, about relationships, about what you tolerate. You signed contracts your nervous system didn't consent to, and panic drags you back to the table. It says, "This isn't sustainable." You can't think your way out of it, because panic lives below thought. It lives in the part of you that knows when you're lying to yourself. Truth 7. The more you try to control panic, the more you feed it. Panic is about control. So when you respond by trying to stop it, manage it, suppress it, you reinforce the core fear that losing control is dangerous. But here's the uncomfortable truth. You were never fully in control. And the panic attack is just the moment you can't pretend anymore. Truth 8. Your panic attack is asking a question you don't want to answer. What happens if I'm not perfect? What happens if people see me struggling? Am I still safe if I stop performing? Panic isn't random. It's attached to a specific terror, and the attack itself is a test. Can you survive loss of control, or will you fight it at all costs? Now we reach the root. Truth 9. Panic attacks are time machines. You're not reacting to now. You're reacting to then. The grocery store isn't the threat. The meeting isn't the threat. Your body is replaying an old moment when you felt trapped, overwhelmed, or unsafe. Unresolved fear doesn't have a past tense. To your nervous system, it's still happening. Truth 10. You don't fear death during panic. You fear ego death. You fear not being the calm one, the competent one, the one who has it together. Panic exposes the chaos underneath. And if your identity is built on control, that exposure feels like annihilation. Truth 11. Panic persists because a part of you is still trying to earn safety. Somewhere along the way, you learned you had to perform to survive. Be useful. Be good. Be quiet. Be perfect. And even though that environment ended, your nervous system is still running the program, still scanning, still bracing, still trying to deserve safety. Truth 12. The way out isn't through understanding. It's through permission. You can understand all of this intellectually and still have panic attacks, because panic isn't a thinking problem. It's a nervous system problem. And your nervous system doesn't need more information. It needs permission. Permission to feel. Permission to not be perfect. Permission to fall apart without meaning you're broken. You've been waiting for panic to end so you can relax. But it's the opposite. You relax first, and you stop fighting your own body. Because panic isn't the enemy. The war you're waging against it is. Now pause. Let it breathe. The question isn't, how do I stop panic attacks? The real question is, what am I living that my body can't tolerate anymore? And that's harder, but it's honest. If something in this shifted you, sit with it. Don't rush to fix it. Just notice it, because panic was never random. It was a message, and now you finally heard it.